The second pick will be made by the Houston Rockets, and that means that the number 1 pick in the 2021 NBA Draft goes to the Detroit Pistons.
Let's roll, baby. Let's roll.
Congratulations to Hall of Famer-elect Ben Wallace. Now, your team got a gem of a pick last year. Sadiq Bey made first-team All-Rookie. Now, with a number 1 overall level of talent, what do you think that can do for the Pistons as soon as this upcoming season?
It's going to mean a lot. It's going to mean a lot for this team. You know, I think the team is headed in the right direction. We got a group of young guys who comes out and play hard on both ends of the floor. You know, it's one of those teams where, you know, guys come out and they make plays with their energy and effort. And to add a number 1 pick to that caliber of team, you know, the sky should be the limit for this team.
Run it up, run it up, run it up. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh man, that was Cleveland's
DFW to Detroit, baby. Yes, sir, Charles. Yeah. Yes, sir. It's lit, baby. It's lit. It's lit. It's lit. We finna turn Detroit up.
Let's go!
We finna turn Detroit up. Bumped up, all that. We finna turn Detroit up.
Holy. One time. That was the thing. Go on. Let's go. Yeah.
It's pretty obvious he's very versatile, very competitive, and selfless player. He has got great size, but he's someone that I'm sure that not only myself, but the number 1 pick, everyone would covet because of those things that he brings to the table. But the number 1 thing we like about the guy is that he's a big-time competitor. And that's what we're looking for here in Detroit, big-time competitors that are selfless, and he embodies that. So you could talk about his skill level, but I like the intangibles that he brings to the game. It's pretty obvious he's very...
And there you have it. Cade Cunningham, the number 1 pick, the projected number 1 pick, and all the excitement around it over the last 2-3 days, man. It's been insane. I mean, this is something that Piston fans have been wanting for a long time. If you're a Piston fan, you know how bad it's been with the lottery, especially last year. We as a whole felt like we got gypped. I believe we got the 7th or 6th pick last year. Yeah, it was not pretty. But this year has been a thing of beauty, man. I mean, the excitement, the good vibes, the feeling that things are not hopeless, that there's light at the end of this tunnel. And man, it has been a long, dark tunnel. I mean, it feels like we're getting there. It feels like we're getting there. Now, I'm not one to buy into all the hype. You know, I'm always usually one with a little skepticism here and there. But the fact that we got the number 1 pick in the deepest draft in a decade, man, the last time we were in this deep of a draft I mean, everybody knows the story. We had the number 2 pick. And we picked the one bust out of the top 5. Everybody else had a decent career. Now, I'm not gonna put that on us, man. I'm not gonna go down that road. But I'm just saying, it's like, it feels like you can't miss. Even if we don't draft Cade Cunningham, and we go elsewhere with the pick, it still feels like we'll get a very, very quality player. But it feels like Cade Cunningham is our pick. And if we pick him, we can't miss. It feels like it's like 100% shot. We're going to get a star player, and this franchise is going to turn around very quickly. That's what it feels like, and that's the kind of vibe we're getting. Now, obviously, anything is possible. Things could happen, and it can all go down the toilet in a matter of seconds. Piston fans are all too familiar with that kind of scenario. But as you've seen there, man, it just feels something feels different. Something feels, I don't know, just something feels like I have a good feeling. That's what I have. I have a good feeling that things are going to turn around, and it's weird. As a Piston fan, it's weird having that good feeling. It's a weird feeling. And then you have the number 1 draft pick, the projected number 1 draft pick, celebrating. That's nuts to me, man. He's just celebrating. Detroit just got the number 1 pick, and he's celebrating. I mean, his whole family and friends, they're over there jumping around like, we're in Detroit. We're in Detroit. Man, it's nuts. It just feels like this is like out of a Hollywood movie. Like, you just write this stuff up. But man, oh man, crossing my fingers, things turn out the way that everybody feels like it's going to turn out, and the Pistons get a bang up draft pick. I mean, that could make us the team for the next decade. The other beautiful thing about Cade Cunningham and him coming to Detroit is he's not going to come to Detroit with a bunch of scrubs, like maybe like last year or the year before, or really any year in the last 10. He's going to come here with Jeremy Grant on the team. And Jeremy Grant well rested. And as you guys seen, that Jeremy Grant was selected to the Team USA's Tokyo team. So he's healthy, man. And then you can add another player on there like Cade Cunningham, who is possibly won't need much development out the gate, who seems like a player that can really, get in there good with the veterans and like really mix it up right away. Man, this rebuild might be really fast at this point. At this point, the rebuild, I mean, it may only be another year, maybe. I don't know, but it's insane. So anyway, I pulled up this article here. This is JJ Redick is talking about number 1 picks, and I'm not quite sure. In defense of JJ Redick, I'm not quite sure if this is something he was pointing out of Cade Cunningham, or if this is just some random quote because someone asked him about the lottery. I'm not sure exactly who it's directed at. But as you can see, he's here talking about the number 1 draft pick. And he quotes, or I quote JJ, he says, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're the number 1 pick, you're probably not still playing during the second round of the playoffs. You are probably out now. And in response to that, Cade Cunningham responds. And I'm not quite sure. Again, I'm not quite sure what prompted J.J. Redick to say this. And I'm not sure if it's even directed at Cade Cunningham. But there is a meme going around about how there's only been like 9 number 1 draft picks that have actually gone on and won championships. It's gone viral because, everybody's hyping up the number 1 pick. But I mean, it's something to think about. It's like 9 in the last 30 or something. Nine number 1 picks in the last 30 years have gone on and won NBA championships. Something ridiculous like that. It's nuts to me. But you have Cade Cunningham's response. He's like, you crazy for that one. We in the playoffs for sure. That's one of the main things. That's a bet. We're going to come back to this next year. Bet. Man. I mean, this is the guy that hasn't even stepped on an NBA court yet. That's nuts, man. That is nuts to me. I mean, it's insane. I think Cade Cunningham is super confident, man. And, man, if he can bring that kind of mentality out onto the court next year for the Detroit Pistons, man, I'm all for it. And as you can see, Weaver notices his confidence in the quote, in the audio before I brought up this article. Weaver's talking about his confidence. So it's interesting, man. It's interesting. It's interesting seeing this back and forth from Cade Cunningham. Again, I'm not sure what prompted the quote from J.J. Redick. And I think it's even more of a shock to me that there was even a response from Cade Cunningham, who is projected to be the number 1 pick. It just seems random, but it just seems you're also seeing like flashes of his I don't want to say arrogance, definitely confidence, but it's like maybe overly confident. But I'd much rather have an overly confident player than someone that's timid. Just my personal preference. I want a guy that's going to, really dig in there and not be afraid to do it. I mean, and then tell you he's going to do it and then still do it. That's just my kind of player. Guy that's just tenacious. So, I mean, I think you're also seeing flashes of how Cade Cunningham's going to be. He's gonna be a mouthy one. He might be a bit of a trash talker. We'll see, man. If he can back it up, man, talk all the trash you want, man. Talk all the trash you want. So, you knew the comments were gonna be lit for this one. The fans. This one's riled up the fans. So this one was posted by Wins yesterday. He says you gotta love the mindset and the confidence from your franchise player. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of confidence. There's also a lot of arrogance. I think there's a fine line between the two, but I do like the dog in it. Just like, but it's weird that. It's weird that he responded to J.J. Redick. Like J.J. Redick was talking about him. Like, if he wasn't really talking about Cunningham and he's just kind of saying it because he was prompted to see what he thinks about the lottery, it is kind of weird that Cunningham would respond to him. So it's like, I don't know. It may not have been necessary to say anything, but I do like the dog in him. But then I don't know, man. You might be seeing shades of like his personality, where he's a big trash talker. I don't mind a trash talker, but if you can back it up, trash talk away. So anyway, overwhelming positive response. Not a lot of people had anything negative to say about it. Dennis Thompson says, "Okay, son. Joseph Jones that's what we need with a bunch of exclamation points. I believe that's pre. He says, we will make the playing games at the least. You know, if Cade Cunningham plays like the potential rookie of the year, and he gets in there and mucks it up with the veterans, and he's able to really elevate his game to starting NBA level of play as a rookie, and then you pair that with Jeremy Grant, and if he doesn't get hurt or have any hiccups in the season, I would say playing games are definitely a possibility, especially in the East. Yeah. I don't think that's at the realm of possibility. So, moving on here, Josh Kushner says Pistons were playing at a playoff level by the end of the year. We had to basically lose on purpose, and that's without Cade and benching half our roster most nights. This team will be really good really fast once they figure out how to play together. He says the ideal rotation will be Killing at point guard, Cade at shooting guard, Sadiq Bey with the tray as small forward, Jeremy Grant at power forward, Isaiah Stewart at the center. The bench, keep either Cade or Killing on the floor and run them with Frank Jackson and Dalio, Siku and Cook. This means I want to re-sign Frank and Dalio, then trade Plumlee and Josh Jackson. Oh, what about Corey Joseph? I don't think he mentioned anything about Corey Joseph. I would say Plumlee and Corey Joseph for sure. Man, they're collecting some nice little paychecks, man. They're roughly together. They're roughly getting paid like $24 million a year, I believe it is. It's a lot of money. So I'm not totally against trading them, especially if we can cut some salary cap. Let's see. Andre Raphael says, brah. Perfectly said. Finally, someone with a effing brain who actually watches the whole games. All caps, man. You know he's serious. Jay says, I'd rather trade Siku than Jackson. It's interesting. It's interesting that this is it's become a Siku versus Josh Jackson fight. Like, who are we keeping, Siku or Josh Jackson? Let's see. Dennis says Siku might be special. We don't know because he has never been given meaningful, significant minutes over a long period of time. Jackson, we know what he is. Inconsistent. Cannot shoot. He's a ball stopper. Plays great defense. Wants to be here. I'd rather take one final swing this year on the unknown than another inconsistent year of the known. It's an interesting way of putting it. Josh says, agree 100%. Siku really has something to him that I like. His head just needs to catch up to his game. You know what? I'm kind of surprised by the positive feedback Siku's been getting. We spent the whole year getting nothing but negative feedback from fans about Siku. Like his rookie year, I mean, got tons of positive feedback. He came in this year with everybody hyping him up. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Everybody was hyping Siku up. Put on a lot of muscle coming into this year, sophomore season, but then it quickly died down. He's his play just did not match everybody's expectations, and the hype died down. And honestly, since not last summer, but since January, it's been nothing but negative feedback for Siku. So it's good, nice breath of fresh air to see fans actually getting behind him, and thinking that there's still some potential there for Siku Demboya. Carl says, I couldn't have said that any better, man. Well, a lot of agreement amongst Piston fans about Siku. It's good to see, man. Honestly, he really got put through the ringer by a lot of fans this season. Let's see. Love this kid already, man. See, I'll tell you, everybody loves that, man. Everybody loves a confident player. Am I the only one who's slightly worried about the arrogance and cocky attitude? I like the confidence, and I know he's young. I'm just worried about the line between confidence with humility and arrogance. I just want him to be the latter, but instead the former, and have some humbleness as well. Let me read that again. He said, I just don't want him to be the latter, but instead the former, and have some humbleness as well. I'm not too worried about it, man. If he can back up his trash talk, I mean, I don't really care if he's a motor mouth. If he can back up his trash talk, I'd be all for it. Now, I'm gonna walk that back just slightly. If it starts hurting the team, and you can tell that he's just this black hole, like it's all about him. He's putting up amazing numbers, right? Just the amazing numbers, but the team just can't win games because no one really wants to play with him. I'd say then that's when it probably become an issue. I don't know. I'm not going to look too deep into it. Like I said, I do find it weird though. I do find it weird that he made a response to this. And it might not even have been about him, to be honest with you. Let's see what the fans say. Everett Jenkins says, nope, we need this bad boy attitude. Man, that one got up-liked a lot. Wins says, just a kid with driving goals. Cade all day. Josh says, I hear you, but in order to play in this league at the highest level, you need to know in your own head that you're the best. And for someone that is presumed to be taken at number one, you need that dude to have the mentality that he is going to be unstoppable. This is why you need a good coaching staff, a couple solid veterans on the team to reel in some of the arrogance, but encourage the confidence. There's nothing worse than having a highly skilled basketball player that has shaky confidence. I'm kind of in line with this. Again, I hear you, but he's not talking about winning, scoring championships, or the MVP, or even Rookie of the Year, which are individual awards. He's talking about making the playoffs, which is a team thing. I love that. You know what? That's a good point. It's a good point. Still, I'm still bothered that he responded to this. Like, I'm not sure if he thought this was directed at him, but maybe it was. Like, again, I'm not sure exactly who pulled this quote from JJ Redick. It's interesting. Bobby Photo says, yep, with little turd emojis. Let's see. I listened to this in multiple interviews with him. To me, it didn't come off as cocky. I've heard some of the guys say some dumb, arrogant stuff before, i.e. Stanley Johnson and Reggie Jackson, and this guy doesn't hit that way for me. He comes off as mature and confident. Besides, when you're the best player in the world for your class, you get to sound a little confident at times. That's from Cam. Marty Max with the eye emojis. See, Quincy Hayes, man, this is exactly what the Pistons miss and needs to be successful. I'm going to get it done bad MFer like Sheed was. That's an interesting comparison. Hopefully he doesn't rack up as many texts as Sheed. Okay. Brian Walker links the actual podcast. So this was from a podcast. I'm curious if I'm gonna have to listen to that podcast. I'm curious if this was a discussion between him and JJ Redick. That'd be an interesting twist. I also like what he said, that he's looking forward to being the Rookie of the Year after the season and the All-Star in the second year. Not expecting too much from Cade, but at least he has the vision and goal. It's from Wins. Rashawn says Pistons should be in the playoffs next year. You know what? I think if Cade becomes a player that challenges for Rookie of the Year, we'll be in the playoffs for sure. Pistons just need another power puncher with Jeremy Grant, and Sadiq Bey already looked like he was developing into that. But then you add Cade into the mix, and he is a power puncher. I don't see why the playoffs would be out of sight at that point. Let's see. Jimmy says, with Cade on the board, we are a playoff team, guaranteed. Guaranteed it. Man, that's more than a guarantee, man. That's a guaranteed. Got to be careful with the guaranteeds, man. Got to be careful. Let's see. Mike Carter says, well, damn. Mark Jennings says, talk is talk. I'm excited, but I ain't drinking the Kool-Aid, though. You know what? I don't blame you, man. You always got to step in with just a little skepticism. But you know what? The responses are overwhelmingly positive for Cade Cunningham just shooting back. Let's see, Barack, my main man. Barack approves, man. Man, now that's a warrior. Look at that. Big Barack getting in on the take. Freddie Matt, I don't really think the Pistons are going to pick him. I have this strange feeling he won't be there. He won't be here. I think he says won't be here. Win says they'll start seeing hashtag fire Troy then. It's not, you know what? If they don't pick Cade, whoever they pick better be a bona fide star, man. It'll be hell to pay if they don't pick him and whoever they pick doesn't pan out. Let's see, Freddie says, I just never seen a player say, I know where I'm going, and some GMs like to save face when they draft a player. He drafted Killian last year. But if he draft Cade this year, that's like him saying, I messed up. Hopefully they can play together somehow. God, there needs to be a comma in there. Josh says, I disagree about taking Cade. Makes him look like he messed up. One, Troy Weaver wants to lead a team to winning. He doesn't give a F about how he looks. Cade isn't a superb ball handler yet. whereas that is one of Killian's strengths, so they can play together. 3, Cade showed moments at OSU where he could play off the ball and run around screens to catch and shoot the threes at a high level. And 4, having this kind of size at the 1 and 2 will make it very hard to the opposing backcourts. I think the only way Cade is here is if we trade the number 1 pick, which I would be pissed about. But Troy has earned my trust. We'll see. Some interesting points. I'm not sure where I want to pick apart on that. That's a solid point. Next one. Freddie's like, I believe they can play together. Myself, but everyone seems to want Killian gone. Yeah, not too many people were impressed by Killian, but there's a lot of fans that feel the same way like they do about Siku, where he's still an unknown, and they still want to see him play out his rookie contract to see what we got with him. But with Cade coming in and possibly playing point guard, and if he ends up being any good, kind of will make Killian expendable. Josh says, I mean, honestly, we're in a total rebuild. So we need to take the best talent regardless and figure out the rest from there. We can worry about fit later, but yeah, I 100% think they would fit well. Freddie? Exactly. I think they will make each other better. Even Siku. Oh, another positive comment about Siku. It's shocking, honestly, man. We went the last 6 months with nothing but negative feedback for Siku. So seeing everybody being positive, it's random too. I wasn't expecting even Siku to be brought up, and the fact that he is, and most people are pretty high still on Siku's. Well, at least in this thread, it's kind of shocking, honestly. Fred Thomas says, I love this kid's confidence. Hopefully he can deliver. Hopefully. Carl says, reading stuff like this causes me to think too much. Like Grant saying we gonna do something special to Weaver, saying we won't win 20 games again. I'm not sure what he means by that. Makes me think they are and were way ahead of us in knowing or believing we shooting for Cade and taking and off from there as if it was the plan from the jump when signing Grant. I don't know what you mean by that, Carl. Matt Sims Jr. says, come on, man, between him and Coach Campbell with the Lions. I'm ready to run through a wall for this next season, man, of Detroit sports. Future next 3 to 5 years is looking brighter for the Pistons. As soon as I read Lions, it was like nails going against a chalkboard. Wins, we will be here for a long time. That 3-year rookie contract, and if we offer him a max 5 years, that's about 8 years at least. Time to build it right with Cade. Wins is all in with Cade, man. Jaden says rookie contracts are 4 years plus a qualifying offer. Yes, and I think they're a little different for second rounders. I think there's a two team options. Carl, and I wonder, was this said by Reddick referring to Zion's situation and his family not being happy with how the Pels are playing him? See, and that's what I'm saying is like I'm not sure if this was directed directly at Cade Cunningham. Like Carl said, it might have been directed at Zion Williamson because of all the complaining he's doing. It's interesting, man. I'm not sure. It's a weird comment randomly for JJ Redick to say, and then it's a weird response for Cade to randomly, pick at it. It's weird. It's a weird situation here. Andrew J. Morton the third, Brian Jordan. I love this kid already, man. So many positive responses. Everybody's liking this. Troy says if this young man has the same determination and drive and intensity that Isaiah Thomas had all those many years ago, he will achieve his goals. He is going to have to back it up with his actions. Words aren't going to do it. However, his attitude is what is needed. Just back it up with the actions on the court, and we do have a fighting chance. I'm telling you, man. Overwhelmingly positive responses. Jonathan Fishpaw says, man, I love the energy, love the positivity. Derek F. Reddick. Cade is way better than him as a rookie anyways. I love the response. Dion says, JJ never said he was better. He told the truth. Teams that pick the first don't make the playoffs. That's why they're picking first. Yeah, of course. That's how it works. Oh man, Dion again. He needs to slow down. He barely got out the first round of the NCAA tournament and lost to Oregon State in the second by 10. Man, now we're getting to digging in. Now we're digging in. Oh my God! Now we're digging in. I like it. All right, Chris Willis. He's right usually, but these Pistons are better than that. Oh man, these Pistons, man. Tell you, man, the fans are buying in. The fans are buying in. Let's see. Frederick says, "Love it, dude's got heart." Jose Cummings says, "Damn, that is horrible grammar. I had trouble reading it." But I love the energy. I love the energy. Let's see. Lawrence Thomas says he must be from the South. That's how they talk. And he's like, I hear you. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like he's from the South. Paco says, the F he say? I love how everybody's getting on his grammar. Like, it took to the end of the thread for people to start noticing that they couldn't read what he said. Let's see. Buddy Lee Van Dyke says, we better get him too. We'll see, man. So, yeah, I mean, man, it's already starting to get a little chippy, man. Cade Cunningham, not even a Piston yet, is already ruffling feathers. Ah, man. We'll see where we're at, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Cade. He is a bit cocky, but man, if he can back it up, be as cocky as you want to be. I'm out of here, man. I just wanted to catch you up with some Cade Cunningham news and some of the activity going on in the community. You can find all this and much more at the official Detroit Pistons basketball group on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram and on Twitter. Take it easy, y'all. Peace.